Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hi, guys.
We're going to look at Uncharted, the live-action fan film. This stars Nathan Fillion,
Yay!
Stephen Lang, Gino Segers, Marcia Monroe, and Ernie Reyes Jr., who I got to train alongside at Valley College Gymnastics many, many years ago. I didn't train with him, but like next to him, and I'd do moves and he'd be like, hey, you're doing good. And the stunt coordinator is Joe Perez, who I got to work with once many years ago. So let's check this out. I got the music down and everything.
Cool. Wow. It's a nice aerial shot. Someone's doing well for themselves.
Lo agarramos yendo en la frontera.
Did you get it?
No. This is all he had on him.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Fellas. Nathan Drake. In the flesh. Legendary treasure hunter. Explorer. Historian. Thief.
Whoa, hey. I think you have me confused with somebody else, pal.
The man responsible for finding El Dorado, Corvera, and Shambhala.
Oh, then yes, okay, then yeah, that's right.
Last night, an antiquities collector held a private auction in La Paz. A rare item of great value was stolen. An item my employer rightfully purchased. So imagine my surprise when I find out that Nathan Drake is in town.
Sounds like quite a coincidence.
I'd say. Tell me, what exactly is this?
That is a compass. Perhaps we can use it to find this fella a haircut that didn't go out in the 90s.
You're a funny guy.
Huh?
Let's go get a punch in the face.
Oh, where is it?
Look, I don't know what it is you're looking for, but I don't have it.
My employer is not a man you want to cross. You've already made him quite angry.
I do tend to have that effect on people.
Let's try this once more, shall we? Before I violently remove something you care deeply about.
So, does that mean if I care deeply about you, you'll leave?
Okay. Okay. We'll see how cooperative you are after a little time with El Tigre.
Who dat?
Ernie Reyes Jr. is coming up.
El who?
It's no good.
You getting all this?
Oh, yeah. Loud and clear, kid.
Sully. Oh, shit.
Wow.
Got some names in this. Wow.
Pulling up plans for the house now. Let's keep those guys busy a little longer.
Easy for you to say. You're not about to get your finger removed from some fella named El Tigre.
I'm not sure that's the body part they're thinking of removing.
Oh, that's El Tigre? Thank God. Guys, whew. Seriously, that's, you guys, you got me. You got me. I was well presented. I was scared.
Have fun.
Hey there, little guy. What do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, crap.
Jesus! What are they feeding you?
What are they feeding you?
Wait.
Wait. I don't want to micromanage this thing, but I think you're supposed to be asking questions in between the punching.
I consider this a privilege, cabron. I hear there are many men who would pay a great deal to spend some time alone with you.
Awkward.
Oh.
Got it. Second floor, southeast corner.
Tigre, lucha. Algo no está bien.
Yes.
Stop it!
Nate, you good? Oh, yeah. Ever better.
Well, it doesn't look like they're on to you yet, so just get moving.
They seem pretty pissed about the bracelet.
Yeah, I should have told him he would have it. My face wouldn't be as sore. Keep it nice and warm for me?
Oh, yeah. Nice and toasty.
Hey, not to put a damper on things, but
What happens if those letters aren't there?
Clark said the intel is solid. Guy paid top dollar for him.
Yeah, he paid top dollar for security, too.
Okay, I'm in. Oh, Sully. You really need to check out this room.
yeah, maybe on the next door. Hurry up, will you? Those guys gonna be on to you in a minute.
It's
Here
like
we go.
Aladdin's lamp.
Alfonso Albuquerque's letters. Ooh. This guy's not messing around. He's got original copies dating back to the conquest of Malacca. Here we go. October 1511. That's right before they sailed back to Portugal on the Flor de la Mar.
Which is now sitting at the bottom of the Indian Ocean. I'm telling you, Nate.
It's Wild Goose.
Yeah, Wild Goose worth $2 billion, the most valuable lost treasure in human history. Wait a minute. He's got a whole stack of letters from Ferdinand Magellan to Albuquerque. Earliest one is dated just a few weeks after the floor sank. So, Magellan served under Albuquerque during the conquest, but history tells us that's the last they saw of each other. Unless... Holy shit, Sully, do you know what this means?
Kid, whenever you start doing this, nobody knows what you mean.
Uh-oh.
Looks like it's gonna have to wait. They found your friends. Get the hell out of there.
Get the stuff! Oh dear. Hide. Run. Oh, I thought he was gonna do some climbing.
I felt that. Okay. Just like old times.
Bad guys have such bad aim.
Well, no, it's the camera movement, just like the video game.
They just let him go.
Miss me?
You know, I always find myself amazed that you two are incapable of returning these things the way you found them.
Ah, we got the insurance. You did get the insurance, right?
I thought you did.
Right. As promised?
Wow.
Right.
So, we're gonna break this open? I feel like we're always breaking things open.
How about I hang on to that?
Hey, did you see this?
Oh.
Well, I'll be go to hell.
A triangle?
Not just a triangle, it's a trinity. A trinity, oh my God, of course. When the Flor de Lamar sank, it took 400 people down with it, but not Albuquerque. He was rescued by another ship called the Trindade.
Portuguese for Trinity.
Exactly. Now, history is spotty on who captained it, but there was another ship called the Trinidad, a Spanish flagship, famous for having been the first to sail around the world.
Magellan. Holy shit. Magellan captained the rescue ship.
Oh. Would you look at that?
Could those be coordinates?
It never made any sense. Why would Albuquerque, considered to be one of the most brilliant military minds in history, put his treasure on the Flor de Lamar, a ship that had proven itself time and time again to be unseaworthy? What if the reason no one has found the treasure of the Flor de Lamar is because the treasure was never on it?
It was on the Trindade.
Exactly, it never sank. And Magellan and Albuquerque both knew it.
So what's this then?
Our next stop.
Well, I understand the weather in the Philippines is particularly fine this time of year.
credits or anything.
Oh, wow,
man.
okay.
Just go right to black. It's over.
That was fun.
I think that Nathan Fillion actually makes a great Drake.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought about that for a while. Like who could play Drake? And he actually did a great job of capturing his mannerisms, his personality, the delivery. The movement was a little bit stiff compared to how Drake moves, but like in general, like just his personality was spot on. So Alan Ungar wrote and directed it. Jesse Wheeler was also one of the writers and producers. Alan Ungar produced it along with Nathan Fillion and Bruno Marino and Louis Salerson. The Philippines is an unexplored area in Uncharted, so that's cool. Like it's almost like how, hopefully this is not a bad comparison, but like Final Fantasy, the Spirits Within was a completely different Final Fantasy story, and so this is like a completely different Uncharted story, which is cool. I think it's actually a good idea to take the story in a direction that we haven't seen in the video games yet, rather than trying to just adopt what has already been done in the games.
But they did keep it like very faithful to the look and the style and the tone of the games, which was really cool. And like you said, I thought Nathan Fillion did a really great job. I loved all of his looks and I mean, I just think he's fantastic anyway.
His personality is spot on. He has it down. Stephen Lang, I think for the most part got the mannerisms of Sully, but the only thing is, I mean, this is just a nitpick, but Sully in my mind is a bigger, taller guy. And I'm trying to think, like, who could play Sully besides Stephen Lang? Like, what guy out there right now could do it? I'm sure there's a number of people who just aren't coming to mind immediately. I never sat and thought about, like, my wish list for the cast of Uncharted. I just remember getting really upset when I found out they were doing a Nathan Drake story of when he was a kid with Spider-Man, with, what's his name?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Like, that really annoyed me. Like, I don't mind Tom Holland being the flashbacks of Nathan Drake, but to just do that as a whole story kind of bothered me. I feel like this is a good response to that. Like, look, it can be done. If you just do it right, it can be done. The production value was great.
Yes.
But the story was small in scope, and I imagine that's because so much money was spent to get certain things right. Initially, it seemed like it was more ambitious than it was, and then most of it was like this back and forth with him in the chair, which I don't mind. Like, I understand and appreciate why it wasn't bigger than where it was. Why it didn't go further than it did. This is more of, this can be done. This is a sample of what we can do.
Exactly.
If you take it this direction and you give us money, this can be a full-fledged film that is exciting to watch and people will want to watch it.
I think it's really smart of Nathan Fillion to get on board with this, because he's just really shown, like, to anyone who watches this, you're going to be like, oh yeah, Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Duh. Like, that totally makes sense.
Well, it's a perfect vehicle for him, and it suits his personality really well. Like I said, the only thing that bothered me was he was just a little bit stiff in his movement, but that you can work that out with training. So
yeah, I definitely noticed that. I do really like Nathan Fillion. Like, I think he's really awesome.
Yeah.
But there were certain moments where I was like, oh, you're trying to, like, maybe push the joke.
Yeah, instead of letting the humor.
Hard.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought he did a fantastic job.
That's not Nathan Fillion's fault. That's the writing and him being faithful to the writing and what the director's asking for. Like, I do agree with you that it was pushing the jokes a little bit, but I think it was a lot more authentic and true to the game than most of adaptations that we have seen out there. If you look at the first Tomb Raider, if you look at Street Fighter, if you look at Super Mario Brothers, if you look at, like, half of these things that are out there, like, they are often not faithful to the game at all, or if they are, they do it to its detriment, and it's just, like, messy.
Right.
Whereas here, it felt like it was faithful to the game, and it actually told a story that makes sense within the tone of the game, and it was still entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, it was still, like, fun and pleasant to watch. Ernie Reyes Jr., for those of you guys who don't know, has been around a long, long time. He was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 as Kino. He was also in The Rundown with The Rock, where he's the spinning Tarzan Jiu-Jitsu.
I haven't seen that movie.
The Rundown? Sean William Scott and Christopher Walken.
Oh, back when The Rock was known as The Rock, not Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, the Rock was a lot younger back then. Yeah, I mean, he's been around. He's been around a long time. This was actually, like, small for Ernie Reyes Jr. I'm used to seeing him do crazy stuff, and here he was mostly just throwing punches. And it works for the scene. It works for what was going on. Like you were talking about, it's going for the joke. Like when he was holding Ernie Reyes' head there, I'm like, yeah, that's... I don't remember stuff like that in the game. I think that's kind of making it a little too comical, but again, like, I must emphasize how well they nailed Nathan Drake's personality. Because that's such a big aspect of the game, is his personality. Like, little things. I remember in Uncharted 2, or maybe it was part 1, when, like, a grenade comes in And then you hear Nathan go, no, 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 no. like these little nuances that you'd never find in another video game. The relationship between Nathan and Sully was so well written in the game and so well executed. That's the main thing for me. And so, like I said, I'm on the fence about Stephen Lang. I think he's a great actor. I just don't know if he's right for Sully. Marcia Monroe as Elena. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Irrespective of that, irrespective of casting choices, like I think that this team is smart enough to produce a well-executed feature film of Uncharted. Let's say we keep this cast, fine. Like, that's fine. I just want to see a feature film of this now instead. This has actually got me excited for a feature film of Uncharted in this manner, not the other one. I was reluctant for a while because in my mind, I'm like, I don't know why we need a movie version of Uncharted. There was already it was called Indiana Jones. Like we don't need a film version. Like Uncharted is great as it is, like in its medium. But this actually gives me hope that there could be a good version of the film with this team behind it, with people who clearly have a love for the series, who care about getting it right.
And if they do end up doing it, this is just another opportunity for whoever owns the franchise, if it's good, to carry on making, more movies, more fun stories about Nathan Drake and friends.
I don't know if it was more on Alan Unger or Joe Perez, the stunt coordinator, but I think they actually did a pretty good job with choreographing the fight scenes in making it faithful to the game. It felt like stuff you'd see in the game. Like, I could feel myself pushing the buttons and doing certain moves. When the hair came off, I was a little bit annoyed, because I'm like, that's not why... It's not Three Stooges. But then, like, the fight continued, and just the moves that Nathan was using in the fight scene, it felt like stuff you'd see in the game. I think even that part where he jumps and kicks and then falls down, I feel like that's in the game as well. So there's a lot of good nods. I just wish that obviously there's budgetary reasons that constrained this, but I wish that most of the film wasn't just this back and forth of him sitting in the chair. It felt like I wanted him to get up sooner and start doing action sooner. And it felt like the moment the action began, it was wrapping up already. I'm like,
right.
I want more, obviously.
So if they get more money, then, they could do more.
I'm really glad they made this, though. I think that any remotely negative critiques I may have mentioned, this was very, very well done. I think that this is a great team, that I'm really happy that they were able to be as faithful as they were to the source material.
And it looked so good as well. Like, I have to give props to the production designer.
Yeah,
the
props.
room.
You have to give props to the props.
Yeah, props to the props.
Yeah.
To the prop department.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the room looked amazing when you walked in. And I thought the lighting design was really great as well. It did have that kind of video game look, like when he comes into the room and you see the window with the light coming through it, that shaft of light. It looks exactly like how you would see
in the game.
A room or like something amazing like that in the game. You're like, oh, it's so pretty.
Right. But even down to the little things like the paper, the little the letters and stuff like that, I'm like, wow, those are some really great details that probably would have been overlooked in another fan film and not be as like crisp and not be as authentic looking. Yeah. The jewelry that they were looking through looked a little sketchy, but I'm like, it's fine. Yeah. In all honesty, this is going to be a low budget short film, compared to what they would get if they were financed by a studio. So I forgave most of that stuff.
But I'm sure a lot of money went into this, regardless. Just
on a writing level, irrespective of performances, I feel like the dialogue was actually pretty damn close to what you'd find in the game. We haven't mentioned the writing whatsoever, but like I think that Sully's lines and then Elena's lines, all of their lines. Even the way the bad guy was, behaving, like it felt like something you would find in an Uncharted game. Great job, to the team. You guys did an excellent freaking job, and I really hope that this inspires somebody at Sony to be like, we need to hire these people to at least one or two of these dudes to do something for the feature film. I really hope that Nathan Fillion ends up being able to take this into a feature film with Sony. That'd be awesome.
Not too long, I hope, because like right now I feel like he's the perfect age for it, but like if you wait 10 years, we might not be able to get Nathan Fillion.
I think he could still do it. I mean, how old is Nathan Fillion?
I don't know. He looks like he's in his 40s. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Cruise is in his 50s, so I think Nathan Fillion could still do it. I see Nathan Drake as an older character. And I see Sully as someone even older than how he was portrayed here. Sully obviously has to be a certain age in order to be able to move around and run and stuff. But I feel like, I don't know. I can't. I gotta sit and think on that. Who could be Sully besides Stephen Lang? But if it is Stephen Lang, I'm not mad at it. I think he's still able to get the delivery right. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Please check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. And big thank you to the team that made this short film for allowing us to react to this. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.